The UK government is massively deporting illegal immigrants in the UK back to their home countries. And trust me, this is not to scare anyone, but it's just coming from a place of worry, just to keep us on the right track. And if there's anything like, a time to be illegal in the country, right now, it is not the time in the UK because trust me, they are going anywhere and everywhere to fish out these illegal immigrants or people who they just believe are not on the right immigration terms to send them back to their home countries. And the target is actually to, send people back. I think about the target is about 200,000 people. It could be more, but that's the target, the upper target, right? And, there've been a series of events in the UK lately, from the riots, from the Rwanda bill to riots. And then, now we have a new government, and they are obviously responding to the cry of the people, crying about illegal immigrants and all of that, right? And the government, is awakening to that. Obviously, they are not going after legal immigrants, but illegal immigrants. And these illegal immigrants could be people who, came into the UK initially, not with illegal intents or stuff like that, right? They probably came in maybe for conferences or visitors visas or, any kind of visits and it could be anything, right? Some even came in for work and they lost their COS and, weren't able to transfer to another employer to, continue sponsoring them on the COS and they don't have an IRL yet at the time. So, they went out of documentation, they went out, of their legal rights or legal right to stay. And so they are currently illegal. Now, these are all the people because trust me, these are all decisions, right? I know it's hard to do. It's hard to, um, it's hard to take these decisions sometimes because, people may want to stay back in the country, but obviously it didn't work out, right? Maybe you came in as a student or something, but then you didn't get the papers, you didn't get a job that would apply for a COS for you to stay back in the country. The right thing at the time, as hard as it could be, would be to go back to your country to be legal and then do whatever application that you want to do. Now, that is the right thing by the law. If you're staying back to, risk it and then you're risking staying illegal and man, the truth is you have to face that. Now, the point is this is not a great time to be illegal in the UK. And if you're thinking of going into the UK by any illegal means at the moment, especially with all these unscrupulous people out there, duping people, telling people there are jobs, blah, blah, blah. You come in, they give you a job, they give you a COS and all of that. Now, I've always said it on this channel, right? When people start asking for money for jobs, that's already an indication that there is something not right about that job, right? Job, um, jobs are supposed to be free, okay? It is about what you can offer. It is about you have to go through an interview process, and if you merit the job, you will get the job. If the employer has a sponsorship, they would give you a sponsorship. Nobody takes money from you, all those chunk of money because they want to give you a job. I don't understand how people keep falling for all of these things. I don't, when there was some crisis last year, and people paid in chunk of money. I remember calling a lot of people in the UK, a lot of employers, and they said these things were actually happening. I remember discussing myself to speak with some of these persons, and they were telling me, oh, you need to pay 10 million, you need to pay 7 million, you need to pay 13 million, and this is what people were actually paying for scams. Absolutely, they were scams because these people have no influence whatsoever on a job. The employer decides whether or not they want to give you a job. If there's a vacancy, there's a vacancy. You go for the interview, you go for the necessary screening process. And if you're eligible for the job, you get the job. And if you're not, you don't get the job. Truth is, a lot of things went wrong in the UK, especially in the last 2 years, in the last year, where a lot of people have, camouflaged themselves as employers, scammers hiding under as employers or even employers who have not kept the government provided rules of employing people and employ people from overseas, promising jobs that they do not have and only for people to land in the UK for those jobs and there are no jobs. Like people actually see this as a means of making money. These are all scammers. Now, as a result of all of these things, a lot of people in the UK who have not probably adhered to the government policies, or, who the government have found wanted in one way or the other, have lost their licenses. So many employers in thousands have lost their licenses. And as a result, innocent people who have found themselves with these employers have as well lost their jobs. And, a lot of them, most of them have been given 60 days to go look for another employer who can, give them a legitimate stay in the country, file for COS for them. A lot of people have been able to meet these conditions. Some people have not been able to meet these conditions. Now, the problem is, you see, when you come to a foreign country, to be honest, you have to make, before you settle, when I mean settlement, probably I mean by a permanent residency, because that's the closest to like a permanent document in a country, especially like when you're on a work permit, right? You're still on the like you're still shaky immigration wise, because it all depends on an employer to keep you and all of that. So you can't really at that stage decide what you, so that's what I mean by when you are still shaky immigration wise. So at that point, like you, before you get to getting a permanent residency, you need to have a lot of plan A, B's, and C's. I know, no, you may not like what I'm saying, but I would rather, with my full chest, honorably go back to my home country if I am not able to be legal in a country. If you've been on this channel, I am so, so, so about legal immigration, because I tell you, legal, or, your stay in the country, whether legal or illegal, will determine how progressive you are in a country. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, the reason why you're leaving your country in the first place is to make your life better off, right? You want to make your life better off, not worse off than it was. Now, sometimes illegal immigration can land you in a situation that is worse off from where you're coming from. And so, what's the point that you have missed the culture, the warmth, the everything, the love of your place, your home, the comfort, everything beautiful about your own place, only to land to be illegal and a wanderer in another man's land? Well, for me, that's a no. I don't know about any other person. And I feel like that makes sense, right? Like, even if I were to be back in my country, and, I can re-strategize, I can reapply, and plan for a better way. And trust me, my legal history would be an upper hand for me going forward. I know the current government came up, and then it seems like they were squashing the Rwanda bill and all. But I know in this gas, it's really not like it. It's really not like they're squashing the Rwanda bill, or, like they said they were not going to be moving people down to Rwanda at all. No, these people are creating all form of strategies to go out there and fish out people who are illegal and to send them back. And I think it is not something good. The the trauma that will come with that experience, for one, I think it's not a great one. And I think it's something that would be very, very bad on one's immigration history, especially if you're a young person. It's not a good thing on your immigration history. So I think that it is time, if you're in the UK at the moment and probably you're a student, you're done with your study, at the end of the day, you're meant to get a job, apply for your postgraduate work permit. Yeah, if you're not able to do any of these are the options that are available to you, then, I mean, please honorably go back to your home country. Do not risk illegality. Do not risk it. I personally would not risk illegality. And I just feel like it's gonna mess you up if you ever get yourself back on the right track. It will take you years. It will take you years. It will mess you around, right? It will mess you around. Illegality, I personally wouldn't go into it, okay? So always, always have a backup plan, right? And like I'm saying in this video, they are creating strategies to fish out people. And at the moment, I've spoken to a lot of people in the UK, and trust me, it is not a nice experience. Like, it is not nice at all. I don't think the media is actually doing justice to the situation at the moment. And in fairness, I couldn't say that what the government is doing is not fair, right? I couldn't say so because every country wants to keep their country right and saying they want to make sure that people are abiding to the rules, people are adhering to their policies. For example, obviously, for people who are illegal, have not for some reasons. I understand that some people, it's for circumstances beyond their control, but law is law. And, you wouldn't blame a country for ensuring that people are adhering to the law. Can't really stress it enough what is going on here, but it is so clear that something really, really massive is going on at the moment in the UK. Because compared to last year in the UK, I think about 100 or something, less than 100 companies lost their licenses. Compared to this year alone, we're only half into the year and we have like about 1,500 companies who have lost their licenses. I mean, that the difference is actually huge, right? So this is actually like a call to warning to everyone. Like if you're still back home, you're not yet in the UK and you're planning to relocate to the UK, you may want to. The essence of all of this is for you to invest more in research, especially if you plan going on with family. Come on, you need to plan and plan that, to make sure that you don't see yourself in any of the situations as much as possible. Look at your pathway, look at what you need to do, what you need to get. I would rather wait a little bit more. I would rather wait 1 year more and get everything right than to rush into the UK only to go in there and be stopped. But currently in this mess in the UK. Now, this guy was being sold by an agent. Like at the time, he was being sold by an agent, for a study route and a visit route. And obviously, this the agent has packaged and sold to him that the visit route obviously was his best bet because obviously or probably that was the easier visa for the agent to process. And so he has sold to this guy that, oh no, you know what, just going through visa. When you listen to agents who are desperate for money, that is why I don't know. I don't necessarily hate agents, but I listen to story of what they do to people. A lot of people sell their properties. I understand how this thing is. People sell their properties to embark on this migration journey, probably because things are not right for them, and they're trying to right those wrongs or whatever they deem wrong within their environment, only to fall into a mess. I mean, for me, that is a it's heartbreaking. It's a disaster, right? So this young man, he was sold and pushed and coerced into the visitor's visa. And so he took the option of a visitor's visa. And now he's currently in this complete mess because there was no way, like with the study visa, I think he would have actually stood a better chance of being able to get an employer if he did a good course and, whatever, right? Absolutely, the chances would have been a lot better for him, right? I know a lot of students still do struggle at the end of the day and still are not able to get a job, that would give them COS in the UK. But yeah, definitely somebody who has gone through the study route definitely has better option than somebody who came in via a visit visa and is planning to settle back in the country. So these are the things that you see every day. So if you are still back home and you are planning to go to not just the UK, any other country, you really, really want to invest into research, right? Don't take anything anybody tells you for for it. Always go back and do your own research. I always say this on my videos. Don't take everything I tell you for crying out loud. Go back and do your research and make sure that you're making the right decision for you. Because you know what? Some people are people who paid employers to be here today, to be in this mess. Some people are people who paid £10,000. Yeah, a lot of people who are into this mess currently are people who paid for the carer thing, the carer job. And trust me, these people were made to pay chunk of money to relocate to the UK for jobs. Unfortunately, they came into the UK, there was no job, there was nothing. They were just victims of scammers and they are going through this. Trust me, the people who have collected their money are not going through this with them. Nobody else is going through this with them. They are the one. This is why I always say that the consequences of your decisions, you would always be the one to bear these consequences. So always have that in mind. Do not take no word for word. You always have to invest in research, doing these researches yourself. Yes, you can listen, watch videos, listen to people, you know, get legitimate agents if you have to. But I always believe that these things are things that you can do for yourself 100%, right? But if you want to, I know everybody's capacity is not same. If you want to get agents, you know, having as well, having good research skills, researching things for yourself would even let you know when the agent is telling you what is right, what is obtainable or not, right? You're able to argue some things and you're able to say, no, what I saw on the website, in the official website, that this is not this. How come you're saying this or that? When an agent tells you that they're giving you a job without you being scrutinized for an interview, that's not making sense, right? You should argue that, right? So what I'm trying to say is, in essence, weigh your options, okay? Do more research and make sure that you understand your path, or the path that you want to take. And if it means that you have to spend extra time, please do spend extra time. And if you're currently in the UK and you are under the situation, I feel so sorry for you, but this is time that you have to. First of all, number one thing would be aggressively looking for jobs, okay, that will probably give you a stay, because that is the only way at the moment. Look for job like your life depends on it. If you have been doing this, please intensify your job search like your life depends on it. If you're one of the persons who have the 60 days ultimatum to return to your countries, please take this seriously and find the jobs like your life depends on it. And in all, I would always have that backup plan. This is like a personal opinion. If it was me, I would not stand the chance of being illegal in a country. Trust me, I will go home and I would re-strategize and I would come back again, because I don't want my immigration history messed at the end of the day. I want to keep a clean immigration history because I have so many things to do in the future and I don't want these things coming my way. And I don't want to be, having to tell stories all the time, or each time I'm making an application, it's not a straight one. I have to go rigorously. Like I know some people it's not their making, but there are times where your decisions are the ones that put you in problem. Now, these are the cases. I know you all have your personal stories. I know that some people, they're just in what they're in because obviously they couldn't help it, or it's just beyond what they can control. But I also understand that some people make the wrong decisions, right? And that is why they're going through what they're going through. Now, if it is a case of decision and you're yet to make that decision, please, 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 please try to make the right decisions that will accommodate your future, that wouldn't jeopardize your future, that wouldn't put you in a tight corner in the future. Guys, if you've watched the video to this point, please remember to give the video a like, and thank you so much. I know this video does not come positive as a lot of my videos, but yes, I need to warn you, and trust me, this is coming from a place of love, because I do not want you to get into trouble. I do not want you to be illegal in a country. I want you to enjoy every bit of your journey. I want you to enjoy your hard work. I want you to be proud of yourself. I don't want you to be in a tight corner. I don't want you to be deported. That's not what I want for you. I want you to be progressive and enjoy every bit of your relocation journey. Okay. So please do give the video a like, because this, trust me, is coming from a place of love. And remember to share the video with someone, because this may be just that one, push or boost that they need. Maybe they are that verge where they're trying to make a hard decision with regards, they find themselves in any of the situations and they're trying to make a hard decision. This could be that boost that they need to just do the right thing, right? Yes, 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 and just do the right thing. Okay, so please share the video with someone, and you might be saving them after all. Now, I see you in my next video, guys, and stay safe. Remember, stay out of trouble. Bye bye.